Let's discuss yesterday's Divisional Cup, because it ended up being a really tight finish between two tier 1 duos. We'll also go over the new teams that have formed, which duos have split. Let's get straight into it. So in first place we had Chap and Flickzy. A really impressive performance from them, considering that most of the zones pulled south. They obviously land at resistance base up in the north, so the fact they were able to win, very impressive. They played very aggressively, choosing to W key teams to the north of them in most games. Halekis and Velry, Darky and Dre all got killed in various games, but it was this aggressive strategy that led them to the win. Without the kills, I don't think they quite would have managed to get the first place. And I think with this placement, they've shut down any rumours of them splitting up. They've proved that they have a future together and that they can place very well next year. In second place, 14 points behind Chap and Flickzy, we had Veno and Tjino, and at one point it felt like it was their tournament to win. They managed to win 2 of the first 4 games in a very impressive manner. In game 1, they performed a good high ground retake onto Vanya and Swizzy in the 10th zone, and in game 4 they sat in zone, tanking damage and chopping out Cammy from height before retaking it themselves. They did start the tournament very well, but they underperformed in the last 2 games, which eventually led to Chap and Flickzy winning. But a second place for this duo, still very impressive. Then in third place we had Swizzy and Vanya, who I predicted to win the tournament over on my Twitter. If you want to get involved with those predictions, I do them for every set lobby finals, but unfortunately I didn't get it right this week. Swizzy and Vanya, quite inconsistent throughout the whole tournament. They kind of snuck into third place with a 12 kill win in the last game, but up until then they didn't really look like they were in the running. Potentially a missed opportunity for them, seeing as they had the hive uncontested. Third place, still a decent finish, but they'll be looking to improve next week. Bevies and Frostroki managed to come in 4th, a good tournament from them. They did obviously get lucky with the zones, seeing as they land on the south side of the map, but still good from them, they got a game win as well. And then in 5th place we had Yanis and Rax. Good to see Yanis doing well. Definitely been a quiet year for him, not quite hitting the heights that he has previously, but it's nice to see him back at the top end of the leaderboards. Over at Rangers Ruins, Fredoxy and Pablo Wingu were engaged in a spawn fight against the Spanish duo of Yarko and Kier. Fredoxy ended up winning 4-1. The only game they lost was the first one, and then in game 6 the fight didn't happen. So a pretty dominant off-spawn performance from Fredoxy and Pablo. Unfortunately, they couldn't match that with a placement on the leaderboard. They only ended up finishing in 11th, so they'll definitely want to improve for next week. So here are the best stats from the tournament. Unfortunately, a lot of the stats in Assyrian are wrong because there ended up being 7 games played of the tournament. The first one was cancelled because a quarter of the duos didn't get into the game. You can see that Veno led the most eliminations with 25. Maybe not what you'd expect, seeing as he's playing with Tjino, who is widely regarded as one of the best fighters in the EU. So the fact that Veno had more kills than him, maybe a bit surprising, fair play to him. And Pablo Wingu had the best damage ratio. Not a surprise there. So with the Divisional Cup out of the way, let's get into some duo updates, because there's been a lot of changes. Shark and Combeck have split up, and I have to say this one surprised me because I felt like they had a lot of potential. Their results were quite good. I felt like they could do well in 2026, but it's not a duo anymore. Shark has picked up Teeny. I'm really happy about this because I like Teeny. I like seeing controller players do well. Teeny obviously very good in duos, so these guys have a lot of potential together. We don't quite know who Combeck's going to play with yet, but I imagine he'll have some good options. Ping is also looking for a duo. He hasn't really been able to find anyone since the game mode got announced. I tweeted a while back that he feels like the forgotten man in EU. Despite his good placements last year, he's just not been able to find a consistent teammate. I think someone like an Uppel could work well with him. Obviously Uppel is also looking for a duo. Ping could lead, Uppel could frag. I think there's a lot of potential there. Scroll is still looking for a duo. He did end up playing the NA Central Divisional Cup finals with Velo. They finished in 20th, which is quite impressive, but I don't know if the two of them will end up sticking together as a duo, so I think Scroll's still in the market. Haris and Skivi have also split. 2 very good fighters, so that opens up a lot of options for other players. And Savage, his duo is still unconfirmed. We're no closer to knowing who he's going to play with. So looking ahead, we've got round 3 of the solo series today, and then the Divisional Cup Opens start again on Tuesday. So a big week ahead. Let me know what you thought of the tournament, which teams impressed you, which teams would you like to see a little bit more from. I want to hear what you guys think. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.